Coming up in today's video, guys, we've got wax plugs and we've got deep impacted wax as well. Always difficult ones to do those ones. My name is Rhys Barber. I'm one of the audiologists here at Audiology Associates. On my own again today. Lovely Mr. Taylor Green will be joining us again real soon, so keep an eye out for him as well. But what we've got here is just basically a wax plug. It's very light in color. It's this honey color. Usually indications a bit of keratin, and that's exactly what we've got there. We've got this tail of dead skin, keratin skin that's been hanging on to this wax plug at the front end here, and that's what was holding everything in place. You can see that little tail. There we go. We've just got rid of that. But eardrum looking absolutely fab on that side. Very similar story on this side as well. It looks like a really kind of blocked ear canal here. But as we start to lift, we can see this front section's quite hard. It's that light color again. So, full of keratin. And as we pull this away, there you go. You can see that whole, it just hanging on, didn't want to come out. We had a little tail of keratin. There we go. That's the little tail of keratin that was holding everything in. But the eardrum looking absolutely lovely. So 2.5 centimeters. Do you want me to be super precise? We're going to do 15/16, which is not easy to say, of an inch. There we go, guys. But if you watch this on YouTube, don't forget I will pop a card up in the corner for another video that I think you will enjoy as well. Ooh, we've got deep impacted wax on this one. You can see this thin layer that's leading up, almost like a slope, going all the way up to the eardrum there, and it is just very deep and impacted. So I'm starting right at the front here. Let's try and lift from this front section, and I'm seeing a layer of thick dead skin underneath there. So I'm going to try and peel that at the same time, all the way, nearly all the way to the top, just lifting and lifting and lifting. There we go. Oh, it's nearly there, and we've got a thick layer of dead skin on this right-hand side of the canal wall as well there. So basically the skin has been holding on to this wax plug, not letting it out of the canal, which is why the patients have as much difficulty as they have. You can see me wiggling back and forth there, not quite a turbo wiggle, but almost there, back and forth just to move this down the canal. We got it to the outer section. Chances are this is going to get stuck because it was a big old piece. You can see I'm trying to sort of bring it through that gap. I'm almost trying to wiggle it through the gap there. And as soon as, there you go, a bit more wiggle. As soon as I start to bring it down, it gets a bit stuck. So a bit of turbo wiggle. There we go. Oh, nearly. Out that comes. So that sort of bigger, look at that. You can see those layers, those white layers underneath, that dead skin layer there under as well. But eardrum looking a lot better on that side. But look at this one now. This has been compressed in. You can see that lovely big dent in the middle, which means the patient has been using some cotton buds, some Q-tips. It's been pretty stuck in this canal. So breaking this front skin section away, and then we've got this much deeper section here. Now this is going to be tough. It is absolutely solid. And what we've got here is this very thick underlayer of skin, which is almost wrapping around this plug, which means it's not going to want to let go easily here. So I'm using the suction just to get rid of all these looser pieces. For want of a better word, phrase, see the wood for the trees. We're getting rid of all these little bits. Ooh, not quite. So I can see where the edges of this plug start and finish now, and I can get a grip on an edge, but see, we've got no movement there. That's not a good sign. Usually when we do this, you want to see a little bit of a budge coming through, but no movement there whatsoever. So I've basically thrown olive oil in here, well, not literally thrown olive oil, but I've put a lot of olive oil in here just to, it's basically what I've drenched in olive oil, just to soften the edges of this. Standard size sonotube in here again. Can we get this out? Oh, it's really putting up a fight. I'm looking for a different edge to work on now. I've worked on the right-hand side and towards the bottom of it as well. Oh, you could see a little, look at that, moving from left to right, but there's not a tremendous amount of movement. I would have liked to have seen a heck of a lot more movement there. It's not, not quite budging. And that thick skin layer is hanging onto it really firmly there. Let's see if we can move it back now. Oh, actually, we're going to bring it down from the top. Sometimes you'll find you wiggle from left to right, but when it's tough as old boots like this, when it's really, really stubborn, when it's really hard, it's always difficult to kind of move it from one side to the other. Sometimes if you pull from the top, you'll kind of roll it like a sort of Raiders of the Lost Ark kind of scene where you get this kind of boulder running down. It kind of does that, and you can roll it end over end to get it out the canal. but it just doesn't want to budge here. But in fairness, patient was an absolute star. They were so good. They sat through all. I'm checking in with a patient all the time when we're doing a removal like this, saying that, you okay? Are you in discomfort? Are you doing all right? This patient was actually doing okay so far. I've got the Rosen inserter in there, trying to get above that top section, just like I said, to roll this down, but it's just so firmly attached to the canal wall. I just managed to peel a little section off the front, which is not what I wanted to see. I wanted to see the whole thing. Now, you can see I was kind of stuck there. Or, okay, where do I go now? Where's the best place to try and get a grip here? And I can't get above it. I can't get into it because it's just crumbling. And I don't want to press too firmly on the edges because that's just going to end up scraping along the canal wall, which can cause a little bit of discomfort. But we've managed to take away some of the center of the plug, which usually means we can fold the edges in a little bit. And that can be beneficial when you're trying to get something like this out. But there we go. Look at that coming away. That's one section, that right hand. Oh my goodness, we've still got it firmly attached, but now we can see down the right hand side. So now if I work in an opposing angle, so I've broken a bit off the right side. So if I work in an opposing angle and bring down from the left, sometimes it'll just free up enough of the left hand side for it to come out. But not today. This is firmly wet. If this patient said they haven't had their wax cleaned out for a long old time, which is what's happened here, it's just got super duper hardened up and it just doesn't want to budge. And now we've got the complication of a lot of dry skin in there as well. So I'm just trying to, it's not quite there. We've got a bit of blurring there. When you put olive oil into a patient's ear canal, it does help to kind of soften the wax, but what you will inadvertently do is coat the canal wall with a thin layer of oil, which is beneficial when the wax gets moving, but sometimes as the suction tube goes in, you get a lot of movement of air in the canal. So suddenly you get lots of kind of, sort of forces of the air moving around like this, and it just picks up some of that oil off the canal wall and pops it up onto the front of the camera. Broke another bit off there. Is this starting to come away? Don't forget, guys, if you do enjoy the videos, you can always like, heart, share, follow, and subscribe for me. If you really, really enjoy the videos, you can become a YouTube channel member if you wanted to as well, for some extra videos and some behind the scenes stuff going on there as well. But if you have wax problems or any ear problems, in fact, check out the link tree in the description. There's loads of interesting stuff on there, and you can actually book yourself an appointment with myself or the lovely Mr. Taylor Green. Now we've got this moving. There you go. Out, that's coming. It just needed that little bit of oil going in and just a bit of a wiggle back and forth to work it down the sides. But you can see it was very crumbly, that wax. The ear canal does look a little bit red, a little bit irritated in there as well. So you can see that sort of redness at the bottom there. Now my advice to this patient was keep that ear as dry as you can for about the next 24 to 48 hours. If it's uncomfortable, use a couple of paracetamol and that will help as well. You can't help it when you've got deep, hard wax plugs like this. It can cause problems, but there we go. That's what we removed. So 3 centimeters, 1 1/8 of an inch there, guys. Well, thank you again for watching our video. It'll pop a little video that they think is the best thing. Well, that YouTube thinks is the best thing for you if you're watching this on YouTube. As always, guys, take care of yourselves, take care of your ears, and take care of one another. And I shall see you again real soon. Bye, everyone.